chosen one. You are not watching this by accident, and you did not arrive at this moment by chance. Heaven scheduled this encounter before you pressed play, and your spirit recognized the timing before your mind could explain it. Anointed one. This is a divine appointment, and the air around you is charged with purpose, because God Himself is drawing your attention right now. Chosen one, you are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough. This is not a slow season, and this is not a distant promise. This is sudden elevation, divine wealth transfer, and heaven-sent transformation preparing to break into your reality. What has felt delayed has been aligning. What has felt hidden has been reserved. As it is written, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous, and what was held in darkness is being released to the children of light. Anointed one, hear this with reverence. God is expanding your capacity and preparing an account you did not know you needed. Heaven is shifting systems on your behalf and opening doors no man can shut. As the vision speaks at the appointed time and does not lie according to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, this moment is speaking now. Chosen one, receive this word. Stay present. Stay open. What God is about to reveal will change how you see provision, purpose, and destiny forever. Chosen one. As you hear these words, something in your spirit already knows this moment is not random. There is a pull, a stirring, a quiet awareness that heaven itself has leaned toward you. I speak to you not as someone far away, but as someone who has lived through seasons of confusion, lack, delay, and long nights wondering why prayers seemed unanswered. Yet in every one of those moments, something was quietly unfolding in the background, a divine alignment I could not see until much later. And now I release to you the same spiritual clarity that once shifted my entire life. Anointed. One God is not simply trying to bless you, He is trying to awaken you. There is a realm of inheritance already written with your name on it, but many never step into it because they do not understand how heaven operates. I remember crying out to God during a season of deep financial struggle, asking why I felt stuck despite serving Him faithfully. In that stillness, the Holy Spirit whispered to my heart, "You keep asking me to release what you have not prepared room to receive." That sentence marked me. It exposed the truth that heaven is generous, but heaven is also orderly. There must be capacity-expectation alignment. Chosen one. You feel this message in your bones because heaven is reminding you of who you really are. You were never designed to live from crisis to crisis or miracle to miracle. You were designed to live from abundance, from divine flow, from a place where God's provision does not visit temporarily but rests continuously. Many suffer not because God has withheld anything, but because they have never been taught the spiritual mechanics of receiving. They pray for blessing, but maintain the mindset of someone who expects struggle. They ask for increase, but live as if elevation is foreign to them. They declare wealth, but hold on to habits that belong to famine. Anointed one, listen carefully. God is stretching you now, your faith, your ability to expect, your readiness to receive. Heaven is enlarging your spiritual container because what is coming is not small. This is not the kind of blessing that gets you through a week or pays a single bill. This is the kind that rewrites identity, restructures legacy, and reshapes the way you walk through the world. You are being called higher so you can carry more. And the truth is, you already carry a divine deposit inside you, something heaven recognizes even when you forget it. I share this not as theory, but as someone who has walked the tightrope between lack and faith many times. There was a season when every outward sign said decline, but inwardly the Lord was teaching me foundation. I learned that spiritual wealth always precedes natural wealth, and alignment always precedes abundance. When I stopped praying emotional prayers and started praying aligned prayers, the atmosphere shifted. When I stopped begging God to rescue me and began positioning myself for what He already desired to release, new opportunities started appearing. Doors I never knocked on opened. People I never met sought me out. It wasn't random. It was the manifestation of an activated heavenly account. Chosen one. The same grace that found me is visiting you now. Heaven is revealing a truth many never hear. God does not respond to desperation. He responds to alignment. When you align, heaven moves. When you understand, heaven multiplies. When you cooperate with divine order, supply becomes a flow rather than a fight. I have seen this in my own life repeatedly. Every time I obeyed the prompting to sow, to give, to release, to trust, something moved. Not because giving is a transaction, but because giving is a bridge. Connecting earth to heaven, connecting the natural to the supernatural, connecting your need to God's endless supply. Anointed one, feel this deeply. What God brings into your life does not diminish. What heaven multiplies cannot be stolen. What comes from the Father's hand is not subject to earthly economies or human limitations. And the moment you shift your posture, your thinking, your expectation, your inner capacity, heaven begins responding instantly. You are stepping into that shift even now. Everything in your life is preparing to align with a new spiritual frequency, and your spirit already senses the change. Chosen one. As we continue, let your spirit stay open, because what heaven is unfolding around you is not just revelation, it is recalibration. There is a deep work happening inside you even now, a rearranging of old beliefs, limitations, and habits that once kept you capped. The anointed one in you is awakening, stretching, expanding. This is not emotional hype. It is spiritual reality. You are being prepared to walk in a flow that many talk about, but few ever enter, not because God restricts it, but because understanding is rare, and understanding is what heaven is giving you now. I remember countless moments in my life where I felt like I was doing everything right, yet still saw no movement. I prayed, I fasted, I served, but nothing manifested. It wasn't until God confronted me that I realized I was operating with an earthly mindset while praying for a heavenly outcome. I was asking God for multiplication while living with the mentality of survival. I was declaring abundance while carrying the fear of not having enough. One night in prayer, the Holy Spirit whispered, "You cannot hold the future while gripping the past." That moment dismantled me. I realized heaven wasn't waiting to move. I was the one who needed to shift. Anointed one. That same shift is happening in you. Heaven is pulling you out of scarcity, thinking, out of cycles of fear, out of patterns inherited from family culture or old experiences. You are stepping into a divine mindset, a renewed consciousness where you stop seeing yourself as someone reaching for abundance and start seeing yourself as someone who already carries heaven's backing. This is the birthplace of supernatural wealth transfer. Not when you become needy, but when you become aligned. Not when you panic, but when you perceive. Not when you chase, but when you receive. And chosen one receiving is a spiritual posture before it ever becomes a physical event. You must receive the identity before you receive the manifestation. You must receive the assignment before you receive the resources. You must receive the truth before you receive the treasure. When God began teaching me about divine supply, He didn't start with money. He started with identity. He showed me how many believers cry for breakthrough, yet sabotage their own blessings through low expectations, hidden shame or fear of responsibility. Heaven cannot pour into a vessel that believes it is unworthy to hold anything. Heaven cannot multiply what you are afraid to touch, and heaven cannot release resources into the hands of someone who still sees themselves as limited. Anointed One. The reason heaven is visiting you through this message is because you are ready whether you feel ready or not. You have endured enough cycles to recognize that something must break. You have survived enough disappointment to understand that God's timing is precise. You have matured enough spiritually to handle what younger you would have mismanaged. And heaven has taken notice. I know what it is like to walk through seasons where nothing on the outside reflects what God has whispered on the inside. I have lived through years where the promise felt distant, where vision felt foggy, where obedience felt costly, and where hope required effort. Yet every one of those seasons produced capacity in me, capacity to hear God differently, capacity to obey without fear, capacity to receive without shrinking back. And it was in those moments that heaven released the greatest shifts of my life. Quiet, powerful, undeniable shifts that changed everything. Chosen One, you are standing in front of one of those shifts now. Heaven is repositioning you, not gradually, suddenly, not partially, completely, not symbolically, tangibly. You are being drawn into a flow where God's provision becomes your normal rhythm, where opportunities chase you, where favor recognizes you, and where wealth transfers locate you without strain. Feel the pull of it. You are not imagining this atmosphere. Something in the invisible realm is realigning itself around your name. Resources that were blocked are loosening. People who overlooked you are being redirected toward you. Situations that were closed are preparing to open. This is what happens when heaven begins to operate on your behalf. And this is only the beginning of the transformation taking place in you. Chosen One. As we move deeper, I want you to feel the atmosphere around you shifting, because this is no longer just teaching. This is a spiritual transaction taking place in real time. Heaven is not speaking to inform you. Heaven is speaking to transform you. There is a recalibration happening inside you that is subtle yet undeniable, gentle yet powerful. The Anointed One within you is rising, and everything that once limited you is losing its authority. This is the moment where destiny begins to turn its face toward you. I remember seasons where I silently wished for someone to show me how heaven's system worked. Everyone around me talked about blessings, breakthroughs, abundance, but no one taught me the structure of spiritual increase. I saw people shouting for miracles, but living in cycles of famine. I saw believers tired, overworked, and underprovided while their spirits longed for more. And in my own life, I reached a point where I told God, Lord, something is missing. Show me what I'm not seeing. And the Holy Spirit began unveiling principles that were always written but rarely understood. Chosen One, you are standing in that unveiling now. Heaven is giving you the wisdom that accelerates destiny, the understanding that unlocks financial transformation, and the clarity that positions you for supernatural wealth transfer. You're not being taught to be excited. You're being taught to be established. You're not being given hype. You're being given heavenly structure. And the reason you feel this message cutting so deeply is because your spirit recognizes truth when it hears it. Anointed One, one of the most profound truths God ever taught me was this: heaven cannot multiply what you refuse to elevate. Many believers want abundance while choosing small thinking, playing small, preparing small, and expecting small. They cry for overflow yet resist expansion. They pray for increase but shy away from responsibility. But heaven does not pour oil into containers that refuse to be enlarged. This is why God is stretching your mindset, your faith, and your expectation right now. God is preparing you to hold more. God is expanding your spiritual infrastructure. God is upgrading your inner capacity so that what is coming into your life will not crush you, but carry you. In my early walk, I thought breakthrough was about praying harder, but God showed me that breakthrough is about perceiving clearer. Prayer opens the door, but perception determines how you walk through it. I remember moments when God nudged me to take steps that made no sense. Steps that required faith, discomfort, sacrifice. Every time I obeyed, something shifted. Every time I resisted, something delayed. Eventually I learned that obedience is the currency of heaven, and alignment is the account where God deposits abundance. And chosen one, you are being called into that same alignment. You are feeling the urge to rise because heaven is stirring you. You are feeling the discomfort of your old self because your new season requires a new version of you. You are feeling the pull to trust, to act, to sow, to expand, to step out, because heaven is creating room for what is coming. Anointed one, heaven works through capacity. When God sees capacity, he releases increase. When God sees faith, he releases supply. When God sees expectation, he releases manifestation. This is why the enemy invests so much energy into shrinking your belief, clouding your vision, and exhausting your spirit, because he knows that if he can limit your capacity, he can limit your harvest. But what the enemy didn't anticipate is that this very moment, this divine encounter is restoring you. The doubt is breaking. The fear is weakening. The scarcity mindset is dissolving. Your inner container is enlarging. You are becoming spiritually ready for the wealth heaven allocated to your name. And yes, chosen one, heaven has allocated wealth with your name on it. I have lived long enough to know that when God marks someone for increase, there is always a shift in their atmosphere. Opportunities begin to appear not randomly but prophetically. People begin to show up in your life carrying answers instead of problems. Resources begin to move toward you because heaven has released them. I have seen this unfold in my own journey in ways that still leave me humbled. There were moments where I had no logical reason to expect anything, yet provision arrived. Not because I had influence, but because I had alignment. Not because I had connections, but because I had capacity. Not because I had credentials, but because I had obedience. Chosen one. Your obedience in this season is creating pathways. Your surrender is creating acceleration. Your readiness is creating access. Heaven is not preparing to bless you. Heaven is already in motion, and your spirit can feel it. You may not have the full picture yet, but you sense the turning. You sense the shift. You sense the acceleration. You sense the pull of something bigger than your past and stronger than your current circumstance. That awareness is evidence. That stirring is confirmation. That inner knowing is the whisper of God saying, "Prepare yourself. Increase is near." The anointed one within you is responding. Your faith is rising, your expectation is awakening, and your capacity is expanding with every word you hear. Chosen one. As you continue to receive this, I want you to notice something happening inside of you, an inner stretching, an inner awakening, an inner recognition that this message is not merely reaching your ears, it is penetrating your spirit. Heaven is not trying to convince you. Heaven is confirming what your destiny has always known. There is a holy shift occurring within you, pulling you out of the limitations that once defined your life and ushering you into a new dimension of spiritual intelligence and supernatural alignment. Anointed. 1. This is where the separation begins, the place where those who only hear the word remain behind, and those who become the word step forward. You are stepping forward now. Your spirit is rising. You are being positioned for what God has already prepared, and whether you fully understand it or not, your life is about to reflect this internal transformation in ways you cannot yet imagine. There was a moment in my own journey where God had to confront the way I interpreted my struggles. I used to believe that every delay was punishment, that every setback was failure, that every challenge was proof I wasn't ready. But one day, in the middle of frustration, God spoke to me so clearly, "I am not testing your strength. I am increasing your capacity." That sentence changed everything. It shifted the way I viewed hardship. It shifted the way I viewed lack. It shifted the way I viewed waiting. I realized that every uncomfortable season was not meant to break me, but to stretch me so I could carry more. And chosen one, this is exactly what God has been doing with you. Every season that felt heavy was enlarging your spiritual muscles. Every delay was expanding your patience. Every challenge was strengthening your discernment. Every disappointment was increasing your resilience. You were not being punished, you were being prepared. Anointed One preparation always feels like warfare when you do not yet understand the purpose behind it. But when heaven reveals what it has been building in you, everything begins to make sense. You start to see that the rejection protected you, the betrayal matured you, the closed doors rerouted you, the loneliness refined you, the pressure sharpened you, and the seasons that felt like suffering were actually the seasons that shaped you into someone who could handle the weight of divine wealth and supernatural responsibility. Heaven never sends abundance to someone who cannot sustain it. Heaven never releases resources to someone who cannot manage them. Heaven never entrusts increase to someone who would be crushed by it. So if God allowed you to walk through seasons that stretched your faith, it is only because He intended to fill you with something far greater than what you lost. There were years when I begged God for breakthrough without realizing that He was actually giving me wisdom instead. I didn't recognize it at the time. I only saw the lack. I only saw the difficulty. I only saw the impossibility. But later I realized that God never gives the blessing before He trains the vessel. And training rarely looks like blessing. Training looks like discipline. Training looks like silence. Training looks like responsibility when you feel empty. Training looks like patience when you feel forgotten. Training looks like faith when you have every reason to doubt. But after the training, heaven releases the blessing quickly. Chosen one. There is a reason why your spirit feels ready right now. It is because heaven has finished a cycle in your life. Your training has matured. Your season of stretching has completed its assignment, and now God is preparing to release what your preparation created capacity for. Anointed One. Many people want blessings, but resist becoming the version of themselves who can hold blessings. They want the harvest, but avoid the pruning. They want the elevation, but avoid the discomfort. They want the miracle, but avoid the obedience. You are different. You have walked through too much to settle for a small life. You have endured too deeply to remain in old patterns. You have survived too many battles to question whether God has chosen you. You did not break. You did not quit. You did not lose your faith. And even on the days when your faith felt weak, you never disconnected from God. Heaven counted that as strength. Heaven counted that as faithfulness. Heaven counted that as readiness. Chosen one. This is why your name is being spoken in rooms you have not entered yet. This is why opportunities are being aligned behind the scenes. This is why resources that seemed unreachable are now moving toward you. This is why people who dismissed you will soon witness your elevation. Heaven has marked you. Heaven has approved you. Heaven has qualified you. And heaven is preparing to reveal what it has been building in you all along. Anointed one, you are moving into a realm where your spiritual maturity will birth financial manifestation, where your inner growth will create outer expansion, where your obedience will unlock opportunities, where your capacity will attract wealth, where your alignment will draw divine partnerships. You are becoming a vessel that heaven can trust. A vessel that heaven can fill, a vessel that heaven can assign. And because of that, the supernatural shift in your life has already begun. Chosen one. As we move into this next unfolding, let your heart remain soft and your spirit attentive, because heaven is still building something within you, layer by layer, revelation by revelation, truth by truth. You may feel it even now, a steady warmth rising in your chest, or a quiet awareness settling over your thoughts. That is the witness of the Spirit, confirming that what you are receiving is not ordinary insight, but divine construction. You are being formed, stretched, aligned, and elevated in ways the natural mind cannot fully grasp. And this formation is not random. It is heaven's precise preparation for the level you are stepping into. Anointed. One thing God taught me early in my walk is that elevation rarely feels like elevation while it is happening. Most of the time it feels like contradiction, it feels like tension, it feels like uncertainty. It feels like your life is shrinking even though your destiny is expanding. There was a season I remember vividly when everything felt tight, financially, emotionally, spiritually. I couldn't understand why God would give me vision that was so much bigger than the resources I had. It almost felt cruel. I wondered why He would let my heart dream of impact while my hands held so little. But one day, in a moment of complete frustration, the Lord whispered to me, "I give the vision first, so your faith can rise high enough to match it." That sentence unlocked something in me. I realized that the tension I felt wasn't punishment, it was calibration. God was elevating my spirit before He elevated my life. He needed my faith to grow into the size of the blessing He had already prepared for me. And, chosen one, this is exactly what He has been doing in you. You may not have realized it at the time, but every unusual challenge, every sudden shift, every moment that stretched your emotional or spiritual capacity was part of that elevation. Heaven was preparing you to operate on a higher frequency, one where divine resources flow naturally and divine opportunities attach themselves to you with ease. But before the flow comes the forming. Before the release comes the restructuring. Before the blessing comes the expansion of identity. And identity is what heaven has been reshaping in you. Anointed one, it is impossible to rise while holding on to an image of yourself that was built in survival. Many believers try to ascend while still identifying with past versions of themselves, versions shaped by lack, fear, trauma, unworthiness, or limitation. But heaven cannot pour abundance into the hands of someone who still believes they are undeserving of it. God does not bless who you pretend to be. He blesses who you are becoming. And you are becoming someone powerful, someone spiritually mature, someone heaven can trust with real influence, real wealth, real responsibility. I know this transformation intimately. There was a time in my life when I asked God constantly, why not me? Why am I not seeing what others see? Why is it taking so long? And the Holy Spirit would answer gently but firmly, because you are still thinking like the version I am trying to deliver you from. That truth cut deeply, but it also liberated me. I realized I had been praying for a future while breathing through the mindset of my past. I wanted supernatural increase, yet my internal world was shaped by scarcity. I wanted elevation, yet my identity was tied to limitation. I wanted acceleration, yet my habits were anchored in fear. And God, in His kindness, refused to pour destiny into a vessel that was not yet reshaped to carry it. Chosen one, hear this carefully. Heaven does not withhold. Heaven prepares. And when preparation is complete, manifestation comes suddenly like a dam, breaking like floodgates, swinging open like abundance, rushing into every area of your life. But that suddenness only appears sudden to the natural eye. In the spirit, it has been forming for years, and your years have led you to this exact moment. You have matured, you have surrendered, you have stayed when others quit. You have believed through storms that would have crushed others. You have risen above patterns that once held you. You have prayed prayers that seemed to float unanswered, not realizing they were softening your spirit, deepening your roots, and strengthening your character. Anointed One, heaven has been watching. Heaven has been measuring your endurance. Heaven has been noting your resilience. Heaven has been responding to your faith, even the faith you didn't think you had. And because of that, you are now positioned for the kind of wealth transfer that does not come by chance, but by alignment. Wealth transfer is not just about money, it is about authority. True wealth is the ability to build, to influence, to impact, to transform, to sustain. And God only entrusts such power to those He has shaped deeply. You have been shaped, you have been carved, you have been refined, you have been stripped of the old, you have been taught to trust, you have been made ready. Chosen one, everything about your journey has been leading you here to a moment where heaven can finally release what it has kept in reserve. Your name has been whispered in heavenly places. Your account has been marked for increase. Your spirit has been set for greater capacity, and your life is about to reflect the truth of what God has been building in you all along. Chosen one, as we step into this next flow of revelation, allow your spirit to breathe, because what heaven is unfolding is not merely information, it is impartation. You may sense it even now, the way your heart softens, the way your understanding deepens, the way something inside you silently says, "This is for me." That inner recognition is not imagination. It is spiritual confirmation. You are not just hearing a message, you are being positioned by it. You are being prepared for divine movement, divine timing, divine supply. And in this sacred moment, heaven is shaping you for what your next season requires. Anointed one. One of the most misunderstood truths in the kingdom is this: God elevates you internally long before He elevates you externally. Many people look at their current circumstances and assume God is inactive simply because they don't see visible results. They say nothing is happening, not realizing that everything is happening, just not on the surface. Before God shifts your environment, He shifts your identity. Before He expands your territory, He expands your capacity. Before He brings increase around you, He brings increase within you. This is why so many people mistake preparation for stagnation. They misinterpret inner growth as outer delay. They attach frustration to seasons that are actually forming their destiny. I lived through a season like that one, where everything seemed still, quiet, uneventful. I prayed and it felt like the heavens were silent. I worked and it felt like nothing gained traction. I believed and yet nothing visibly moved. But what I didn't realize then was that God was strengthening the unseen parts of me, my discernment, my patience, my emotional stability, my inner authority. He was enlarging the parts of me that no one could see, so that when elevation came, I would be able to sustain it. And, chosen one, that is exactly what God has been doing in you. He has been carving out the inner architecture to support the blessings that are coming. He has been reinforcing the foundation of your spirit to carry the weight of supernatural supply. He has been training your mindset to operate on a higher frequency than the one you were raised in or conditioned by. Anointed. 1. One of the most profound lessons heaven taught me is this: God will not release abundance into a mindset that still fears lack. Not because he is withholding, but because he is protecting you. If he blessed you beyond your internal capacity, that blessing would overwhelm you, confuse you, or even destroy you. Heaven gives only what you are ready to manage. This is why God allowed certain seasons in your life to stretch your faith. Not to break you, but to prepare you. He allowed certain doors to close so you could learn direction. He allowed certain people to leave so you could learn discernment. He allowed certain opportunities to slip away so you could learn alignment. Everything was preparation. There were moments in my life where God asked me to release seeds I felt were too large. Times when I had to trust him beyond what felt comfortable. Times when obedience felt costly. Times when giving did not feel logical. But in those seasons, God was not taking from me, he was enlarging me. Every act of obedience created more capacity. Every sacrifice expanded my spiritual account. Every step of faith opened new channels in the spirit. Heaven responds to action, not anxiety. Heaven responds to faith, not fear. Heaven responds to alignment, not emotional desperation. Chosen one. This is why you feel a stirring now. Your spirit knows it is time to move differently. It is time to think differently. It is time to expect differently. It is time to prepare differently, because heaven is already preparing to pour differently. For the first time in a long time, you can feel that the old version of you no longer fits the season you are stepping into. You feel it in your habits. You feel it in your choices. You feel it in your desires. You feel it in the way your priorities have shifted. This is spiritual evolution. This is divine elevation. This is heaven's hand upon your life. Anointed, one supernatural wealth transfer is not simply about finances moving, it is about identities rising. God does not give wealth to confirm your status. He gives wealth to confirm your assignment. Heaven funds purpose. Heaven invests in destiny. Heaven releases resources to those who understand what to do with them. And you, chosen one, have been in a season where God has been training you quietly, molding you silently, preparing you deeply, so that when increase comes, you will not shrink, you will not doubt, you will not mismanage, you will rise into it. There is a maturity in you now that was not present years ago, a clarity that pain has carved, a strength that trials have built. A resilience that storms have shaped, a humility that disappointment has refined. All these qualities are the spiritual infrastructure God requires before he releases greater. And now that he has built them in you, heaven is ready. Your name has been authorized for the next level. Your spirit has been recalibrated for elevation. Your capacity has been expanded for abundance. Chosen one, everything within you is aligning. Everything around you is shifting. Everything above you is preparing. You are stepping into a divine flow where heaven recognizes you, where resources respond to you, where opportunities locate you, where favor surrounds you. Chosen one. As we continue into this next outpouring of revelation, allow yourself to fully settle into the truth that heaven is not speaking to you as a stranger, it is speaking to you as an heir. Everything you are receiving is shaping you, maturing you, preparing you, and awakening you into the fullness of your divine inheritance. You may not realize it, but your spirit has been waiting for this exact wisdom, this exact alignment, this exact moment. This is why every word feels like it is illuminating places in you that have been dormant for years. Heaven is not giving you motivation. Heaven is giving you structure. And structure is what sustains blessing long after emotion fades. Anointed One. One of the greatest revelations God ever gave me was this: you cannot walk into a divine future with an earthly expectation. Many people pray powerful prayers but hold small expectations. They ask God for abundance yet prepare their lives for scarcity. They declare elevation but keep habits built for survival. They speak about destiny but maintain thinking patterns shaped by past trauma. For years I was one of those people. I prayed fervently but expected timidly. I declared boldly but prepared minimally. I spoke with faith but lived with caution. And one day, God confronted me with a question that shook me. How can you expect to receive what you have not made room for? That moment changed everything. I realized that heaven responds to preparation, not to panic. To alignment, not ambition. To expectation, not excuses. I'd chosen one. There are blessings heaven has been ready to release to you for years, but they were waiting for you to expand your internal space. This is why God has been urging you to think differently. This is why certain opportunities dried up. They no longer match the version of you God is shaping. This is why certain people drifted away. They were not meant to accompany you into your future. This is why certain desires have intensified. They are connected to the destiny you are about to walk into. Anointed One. Divine wealth transfer begins internally long before it manifests externally. Many think it is simply about money shifting hands, but that is only the surface. The deeper truth is this: heaven transfers wealth to identities, not individuals. When God sees that you have stepped into the identity He has been shaping within you, then He knows you are ready to steward what He is releasing. And you, chosen one, are stepping into that identity now. You may not feel perfect. You may not feel fully ready. But readiness in the kingdom is not measured by perfection, it is measured by willingness, and heaven sees your willingness. I remember a time when God pushed me into a season of radical obedience, not comfortable obedience, the kind that disrupts your schedule, moves your heart, and tests your faith. In that season, I realized that obedience is not measured by how much you do, but by how deeply you trust. True obedience is the fruit of deep trust. When you trust God completely, obedience becomes instinctive, not forced. And when obedience becomes instinctive, heaven begins to release things with astonishing ease. In that season, doors opened I never prayed for. Opportunities came that I did not chase. Provision manifested without logic. It felt sudden, but it was not sudden at all. It was the harvest of years of inner preparation. Chosen one, many of the blessings coming toward you will also feel sudden. But they are not sudden. They are the accumulation of every silent yes you gave God, every moment you kept believing, every time you refused to quit, every tear that watered your faith, every sacrifice you made in private. Heaven does not overlook these things. Heaven records them. Heaven rewards them. Heaven responds to them. Anointed One. The reason wealth transfer is finding you is because your spirit has reached a state of internal alignment where God can trust you with more. You have gone through refinement, you have walked through storms, you have fought through discouragement, and through it all, you did not lose your connection to heaven. You may have felt weak at times, but weakness does not disqualify you. Disconnection does. And you never disconnected. That is why heaven sees you as ready. The season you are entering requires a new posture, a posture of spiritual confidence, holy boldness, and unshakable expectation. You can no longer approach life as someone hoping something might happen. You must walk as someone who knows heaven is backing your steps, someone who knows favor is assigned to you, someone who knows doors will open at the right time, someone who knows money will flow because you have aligned with divine purpose, someone who knows that your life is not driven by chance, but by calling. Chosen one, everything is shifting for you. Not emotionally, but spiritually. Not temporarily, but permanently. You are entering a realm where manifestation becomes natural because alignment has become your lifestyle. And from this point forward, the flow of heaven will move toward you with increasing strength because your identity now matches your destiny. Chosen one. As we move into this next unveiling, allow your spirit to remain open and deeply receptive, because heaven is getting more specific with you now. What is happening within you is not a vague inspiration, it is a precise spiritual alignment, an internal reordering that heaven initiates only when a person is stepping into a new dimension of assignment and authority. You may feel a strange mixture of peace and anticipation rising in you, as if something great is approaching, yet something deep within you already knows it has begun. That is how divine transition feels. Not loud, but undeniable. Not rushed, but unstoppable. Anointed one of the most important truths God ever revealed to me is that elevation is never random. It is always triggered by identity shifts. You can change your routines, you can change your surroundings, you can change your strategies. But until your identity changes, your reality remains the same. Many people pray for new seasons while dragging their old selves into the future. They ask God for financial breakthrough, but maintain the mindset of someone who fears provision. They desire abundance while living emotionally attached to lack. They want supernatural supply, but internally prepare themselves for disappointment. The greatest block to wealth is never money, it is self-perception. And heaven is breaking that barrier in you right now. There was a time in my journey when I asked God repeatedly, why does it feel like I'm on the edge of breakthrough but not walking in the fullness of it? And the Lord said to me, because you still see yourself through the lens of where you've been, not where I'm taking you. That truth pierced me. I realized my prayers were prophetic, but my identity was historical. My words faced forward, but my self-image looked backward. And heaven cannot release tomorrow's blessing into yesterday's mindset. That was the moment I began allowing God to rewrite my inner narrative. I stopped defining myself by old battles. I stopped shrinking myself to match environments I had outgrown. I stopped minimizing my worth to stay acceptable to others. And slowly, without realizing it, I stepped into a version of myself that heaven could trust with more. Chosen one. The same shift is happening in you now. You are being pulled into a new identity, one that is aligned with increase, not insufficiency, abundance, not anxiety, purpose, not survival. Heaven is nudging you to think on a larger scale, to expect on a higher frequency, to move with a deeper confidence, not arrogance, confidence. Confidence that is rooted in divine assignment, not ego. Confidence that comes from knowing heaven backs your steps. confidence that recognizes that what you carry is valuable, chosen, and intentionally crafted for this generation. Anointed One. I need you to understand something profound. Wealth transfer is not random redistribution. It is strategic repositioning. God does not simply move resources, He moves responsibility. When heaven releases wealth, it is because someone has reached spiritual maturity to handle influence without losing humility, to hold abundance without collapsing under pressure, to build without breaking, to steward without shrinking, and heaven has seen that maturity growing in you. For years, you have walked through trials that stretched you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Those trials did not come to destroy you, they came to stabilize you. You learned how to navigate pressure. You learned how to maintain faith when answers were delayed. You learned how to stand even when you felt unsupported. You learned how to give even when your own heart felt empty. You learned how to trust God with what seemed impossible. These lessons were not wasted. They became your spiritual qualifications, and now heaven is acknowledging them. Chosen One. You are entering a realm where supernatural supply will begin to follow you, not because you chase it, but because your identity now attracts it. Wealth begins to flow toward those who understand purpose. Favor gravitates toward those who know where they're going. Opportunities align themselves with those who have prepared room for them. You are becoming one of those people. I want to share something personal with you. There was a moment when God took me through a private test, one that no one else knew about. I felt stretched financially, emotionally, and mentally. I didn't understand why God would allow me to be in such a vulnerable place. But looking back, I see it clearly. He was forming in me a resilience that money cannot buy, and a stability that circumstances cannot shake. He was removing fear from my system. He was anchoring my faith. He was building a foundation for abundance. And after that season, doors opened that I never imagined. Not small doors, heavy doors, destiny doors, doors that only God could open. But they didn't open when I prayed, they opened when I became. Anointed One. Heaven responds to who you become, not just what you ask. And right now, you are becoming someone heaven can trust with influence, resources, wealth, and responsibility. You are becoming someone who does not break under pressure, but expands under it. Someone who does not withdraw in uncertainty, but rises within it. Someone who does not question their calling, but walks boldly in it. Chosen One. The internal shift is already complete. The external shift is about to follow. And when it begins, it will not come in small waves. It will come in divine surges, waves of favor, waves of provision, waves of opportunity, waves of alignment. Chosen One. As we continue deeper into this divine unfolding, I want you to recognize something profound. Heaven is not merely speaking to your mind, it is reconditioning your entire atmosphere. Your inner world is being recalibrated to match a future that is already written in the spirit. You can feel it, can't you? That gentle but steady pull calling you higher. That quiet assurance rising in you, whispering that something in your life is about to shift in ways you cannot fully articulate. That is the language of destiny. Heaven speaks to your spirit long before manifestation arrives, so that when the blessing comes, your heart is already familiar with the frequency of it. Anointed One, this is a season where God is not just blessing you, He is upgrading you. He is elevating your internal operating system. He is strengthening the foundation underneath your calling. And He is doing it quietly, deeply, intentionally. so that when breakthrough manifests, you will carry it with grace, integrity, and authority. Many people pray for blessings, but few allow themselves to be transformed into the kind of vessel that blessing requires. You, however, are saying yes to the transformation. Even without realizing it, you have been agreeing with heaven. Every time you chose faith over fear, that was agreement. Every time you forgave instead of retaliated, that was agreement. Every time you refused to quit despite exhaustion, that was agreement. Heaven has been watching your yes, even when you spoke it through tears. I remember a chapter in my own life where everything felt unstable. My faith was strong, yet my circumstances contradicted every promise I held on to. I kept saying, "God, I believe you," while silently wondering why nothing around me reflected the prayers I prayed. But over time, I began to realize that God wasn't ignoring me. He was stabilizing me. He was anchoring me. He was preparing me so deeply that when increase finally came, I would not sabotage it with old patterns or small thinking. And chosen one, I see that same preparation in you. Your spirit has grown in ways you haven't even acknowledged. You are not the same person you were last year, last season, or last storm. Your responses are different. Your discernment is sharper. Your heart is purer. Your wisdom is deeper. And heaven is responding to that growth with divine recognition. This is why the spiritual pressure has increased recently. Pressure is always the sign that a new season is trying to be born. When the spirit realm begins to shift in your favor, the enemy tries to create chaos to distract you. But you held on, you pushed through, you endured. And because of that endurance, heaven is now releasing what was being stored. Anointed. One thing you must understand about supernatural wealth transfer is that it does not begin with currency. It begins with identity, alignment, and responsibility. Heaven will never release resources where they will be wasted, mishandled, or misaligned. Wealth in the kingdom is not for personal gratification, it is for divine assignment. God funds purpose. God strengthens stewardship. God releases abundance to those who will multiply it, not bury it. And your life has proven that you are ready to multiply. You have been faithful with little. You have stewarded seasons of lack with humility. You have treated small opportunities with excellence. You have honored God in private when no one was watching, and heaven always rewards what is done in secret. Chosen one. Your obedience may not have been perfect, but it has been consistent. Your faith may not have been effortless, but it has been real, and God is drawn to authenticity more than performance. Heaven is not looking for flawless people. Heaven is looking for surrendered people, people whose hearts stay open, whose spirits stay teachable, whose trust remains anchored even in uncertainty. You are one of those people. That is why heaven has marked you for increase. There is a powerful truth I want you to embrace now. You are no longer in a season of waiting. You are in a season of alignment. Waiting feels passive, but alignment is active. Alignment means heaven is coordinating details behind the scenes. Alignment means the right people are being positioned for divine appointments. Alignment means opportunities are being crafted with your name in mind. Alignment means the resources assigned to your destiny are being released from hidden places. Anointed one. You are stepping into divine corridors where what once felt impossible will become natural. Where what once felt far away will draw near. Where what once felt delayed will arrive accelerated. Not because you forced anything, but because your spirit finally matches what heaven has been preparing to give you. Chosen one. Take this to heart. Your life is not shifting by accident. You are being carried into a dimension where blessings do not slip through your fingers, they settle. Where favor does not visit temporarily, it abides. Where opportunities do not tease, they anchor. You are entering the realm of sustained increase because your character, your identity, and your capacity have finally matured into alignment with your calling. Chosen one. As we enter this next unfolding of revelation, I want you to recognize that heaven is now speaking to the deepest layers of your destiny. What you are sensing in your spirit is not imagination, it's confirmation. There is a weight, a presence, a holy gravity resting on you because God is transitioning you from understanding into embodiment. You are no longer simply learning about your calling, you are stepping into it. You are no longer receiving revelation from the outside, you are awakening to what was always within you. This is the point in your journey where knowledge becomes identity and identity becomes authority. Anointed. 1. One of the most transformative truths God ever taught me was this: breakthrough is not an event, it is a becoming. Many people wait for a moment, a sign, a miracle, a sudden change, believing that a single divine act will shift their entire lives. But heaven works differently. Breakthrough begins the day you become the person who can hold the blessing. That is why some seasons felt long. That is why certain doors didn't open when you wanted them to. God wasn't denying you, He was developing you. He wasn't delaying you, He was deepening you. And now, because the deep work has been done, your external circumstances are finally preparing to catch up with your internal elevation. I remember a particular season when I cried out to God, wondering why elevation seemed to circle around me, yet never fully break open. And the Lord whispered to my heart, "You are still trying to carry the next season with the strength of the last one." That truth humbled me. I realized I had grown spiritually but was still operating in old habits. My faith had expanded, but my expectations had stayed small. My identity had shifted, but my decisions had not yet aligned with that shift. Heaven was waiting for my choices to match my calling. And when they finally did, the acceleration was astonishing. Not because God suddenly decided to bless me, but because I had finally become the version of myself who could sustain His blessing. Chosen one. This is where you are now. You are becoming someone heaven can trust with more. You are becoming someone your future requires. You are becoming someone your assignment demands. And your becoming is unlocking doors that effort alone could never open. Divine alignment is surrounding you. Divine orchestration is positioning you. Divine timing is pulling you into opportunities that were hidden in previous seasons. Anointed. 1. One thing heaven must clarify for you now is this: wealth is not merely a resource, it is a responsibility, and God releases responsibility only to those who have shown the capacity to steward it. You have been through refining not to break you, but to prepare you to handle weight without collapsing. You have endured seasons where everything inside you was tested: your patience, your faith, your discipline, your consistency. These were not punishments, they were qualifications. Heaven does not endorse unprepared vessels. Heaven invests in readiness, and you, chosen one, are ready. I want you to reflect on how many storms you survived that were designed to harden you, but instead they softened you. How many disappointments tried to close your heart, but instead they deepened your compassion. How many delays tried to weaken your faith, but instead they strengthened your discernment. How many losses tried to reduce you, but instead they refined you. These are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of heaven's hand on your life. God has protected you from becoming someone who would misuse increase. He has preserved your humility. He has preserved your purity. He has preserved your integrity. And because of that, He can now trust you with influence. Chosen one, there is a part of your destiny that requires resources. Not because money is the goal, but because money is the tool. Wealth gives you freedom to build. Wealth gives you margin to obey quickly. Wealth gives you the ability to support assignments, fund visions, release impact. Heaven is not giving you wealth so you can sit in comfort. Heaven is giving you wealth so you can move in purpose. That purpose is what qualifies you. That purpose is what attracts supply. That purpose is what positions you for supernatural transfer. Anointed one. The shift happening around you is not simply financial, it is positional. Heaven is repositioning you. People who overlooked you will soon recognize you. Environments that stagnated you will soon elevate you. Opportunities you once chased will begin chasing you. You are stepping into a frequency where you no longer strain for blessing. Blessing gravitates toward you because it recognizes the assignment on your life. And yes, chosen one blessings recognize assignment. Provision follows purpose. Favor follows alignment. Increase follows obedience. There was a moment in my journey where God required me to take a leap that made no logical sense. I felt unprepared, under-resourced and overwhelmed. But heaven pushed me, and after I stepped, everything shifted. Opportunities opened that I could not have predicted. Connections formed that I could not have orchestrated. Breakthroughs came that I could not have manufactured. It wasn't because I moved perfectly, it was because I moved prophetically. Heaven responds to prophetic obedience. Heaven accelerates prophetic identity. Heaven empowers prophetic becoming. Chosen one, you are being called into that same prophetic becoming. The version of you emerging now is not fragile, it is fortified. Not uncertain, it is focused. Not hesitant, it is ready. Your life is entering a realm where what once resisted you will begin to yield to you. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Chosen one. As we continue into this next sacred outpouring, let your heart remain soft and your spirit fully open, because heaven is taking you even deeper into understanding, even deeper into identity, even deeper into alignment. This is not a moment of passive listening. This is a moment of active spiritual transformation. You are not the same person who began this journey. Every revelation has expanded you. Every truth has deepened you. Every impartation has awakened something ancient, powerful, and God-ordained within you. Heaven is peeling back the layers of who you thought you were, so you can finally walk in who you truly are. Anointed one. One of the most life-altering revelations God ever entrusted to me is this: when destiny begins to approach everything in your life, starts rearranging itself to match your future, not your past. People shift, desires shift, priorities shift, opportunities shift. Even the way you think, the way you respond, the way you perceive yourself, all of it transitions. And though it can feel chaotic to your natural mind, your spirit recognizes it as divine order. That is because God is removing anything that cannot survive in the environment you are being elevated into. I remember a season when every familiar structure in my life began to change at once. Friendships faded, old opportunities dissolved. Places I used to feel comfortable suddenly no longer felt like home. My initial reaction was fear. I thought something was going wrong. But the Holy Spirit whispered, "Nothing is falling apart. I am pruning you for visibility." In that instant, everything made sense. God wasn't dismantling my life. He was sharpening it. He was stripping away the unnecessary so the essential could emerge. He was preparing me for rooms I had never entered, positions I had never held, and responsibilities I had never imagined. And chosen one, I sense deeply that you are in a similar season right now. Heaven is pruning your circle, not because people are bad, but because not everyone can carry the weight of where you are going. Heaven is refining your desires, not to frustrate you, but to purify your focus so you can discern what is truly yours. Heaven is shifting your inner landscape, not to overwhelm you, but to strengthen you so you can handle influence without losing yourself. You are being prepared for visibility, for authority, for stewardship. And preparation always precedes promotion. Anointed one. I want you to understand something. There is a version of you that heaven has already seen, stronger, wiser, wealthier, more aligned, more impactful than the version you see today. And every challenge you have faced, every delay you have endured, every lesson you have learned, has been part of heaven sculpting you into that version. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on divine schedule. Sometimes God has to hide you before he can reveal you, hide you to protect you, hide you to grow you, hide you to refine you. Then, in the appointed season, the Kairos moment, he reveals you with force, with favor, with acceleration. And everything that once seemed stagnant suddenly bursts open. That is the season you're stepping into now. Heaven is preparing to reveal what it has been forming in secret. Chosen one, do not underestimate the depth of your growth. You have endured storms that would have broken others. You have carried burdens in silence while still showing up in faith. You have sown seeds even when your heart was tired. You have believed God through seasons that felt dry, lonely, or uncertain. Heaven sees that. Heaven honors that. Heaven rewards that. In the realm of the Spirit, you have already crossed a threshold. Your old self cannot go where your new season requires you to go. Your old fears cannot survive at this level. Your old doubt has no place in your new assignment. Your old patterns no longer match your new identity. You are entering a dimension where your inner authority becomes your outer reality. Anointed one, hear this deeply. Supernatural wealth transfer is attracted to identity clarity. When you finally know who you are, resources know where to go. When you stop shrinking yourself, doors recognize your presence. When you stop doubting your calling, opportunities begin searching for you. When you stand in your God-given authority, favor attaches itself to you without effort. This is why heaven has been working so patiently on your inner world, because your outer world is about to transform quickly. I want to share something else personal with you. There was a moment when I felt completely unqualified for what God was showing me. The dreams he put in my heart were so much bigger than anything I had ever seen. And I remember saying to him, God, I'm not enough for this. His response was gentle, yet firm. You're right. You're not enough alone. But the version of you I am building is. In that moment, I stopped trying to match my calling with my current strength. I began trusting that God was forming the identity required for what he had prepared. And that trust unlocked an acceleration I had never experienced. Chosen one. This same divine confidence is rising in you now. Not arrogance, confidence rooted in partnership with heaven. Confidence rooted in spiritual maturity. Confidence rooted in knowing who walks with you, who backs you, who has called you. Anointed one, you are stepping into a chapter where your voice will carry more weight, your presence will carry more influence, and your decisions will carry more power. This is not by accident, it is by divine appointment. Everything you have endured has qualified you. Everything you have learned has prepared you. Everything you have surrendered has purified you, and heaven is ready to elevate you into the fullness of your divine assignment. Chosen one. As we enter this final outpouring of this section, allow your spirit to recognize the weight of what heaven is concluding within you. You have not been journeying through these revelations by chance. Each word has been layered intentionally, building the inner architecture required for where God is positioning you next. You may feel a fullness in your chest, a quiet trembling in your soul, or a deep stillness settling over you. These are signs that heaven is sealing something inside you. Your identity has shifted. Your capacity has expanded. Your spiritual posture has elevated. You are not who you were when this began. You have crossed a threshold in the unseen that your physical life will soon begin to reflect. Anointed one. There is a truth heaven needs you to grasp with complete clarity. The life you are stepping into requires authority, not apology. The blessing you are being prepared for requires confidence, not hesitation. The wealth flowing toward you requires stewardship, not fear. Everything in your next season demands that you walk as someone who knows heaven stands behind them. The days of shrinking, doubting, questioning yourself, or trying to fit into environments that could not contain your calling are over. God is elevating you beyond the reach of old limitations and old labels. You are being crowned internally before you are crowned externally. I want to share a deeply personal truth with you. There was a moment in my life when I felt utterly unprepared for what God kept showing me. The visions were too large. The calling was too weighty. The assignment seemed beyond human ability. I remember saying to God, "Why would you choose someone like me for something so big?" And the Holy Spirit answered, "Because you stopped trying to be who others expected and became who I shaped." That response healed something in me. I realized that heaven never looks at human qualifications. Heaven looks at spiritual formation. Heaven doesn't ask where you came from, it asks who you've become. And chosen one, you have become someone heaven can trust with influence, authority, finances, territory, and responsibility. Anointed one. Listen carefully. Now the wealth that is coming to you is not coming because you begged for it. It is coming because you matured into alignment with it. Heaven does not release abundance to comfort you. It releases abundance to equip you. You are stepping into a realm where resources are assigned to your calling. Money will locate you because of your mission. Opportunities will pursue you because of your obedience. Favor will surround you because of your identity. Doors will open not because you qualify for them on paper, but because your spirit carries something that activates access. Chosen one, you are about to experience what many call sudden breakthrough, but heaven calls appointed manifestation. Suddenly does not mean instantly, it means finally. It is the moment when everything God built inside you becomes visible outside you. You will begin to see answers appear in places where there were once only questions. You will see clarity emerge in places that formerly held confusion. You will see solutions surface in places that felt stagnant. This is not coincidence. It is the evidence of a life synchronized with divine timing. There is another layer of truth I must pour into you. Your next level requires you to stop expecting the world to confirm what God has already spoken. Many times the enemy tries to delay your movement by causing you to seek approval from people who were never meant to validate your destiny. But God is teaching you now that obedience does not require consensus. Vision does not require explanation. Faith does not require applause, and destiny does not require permission. The favor coming to you will confuse those who misjudged you and elevate those who believed in you. But most importantly, it will affirm to you that every moment of your journey, every tear, every delay, every stretch, every sacrifice was worth it. You have become someone who can carry spiritual weight without collapsing, someone who can walk in abundance without losing humility, someone who can influence others without losing yourself. Heaven has crafted you into a stable vessel, and stable vessels attract heavy blessings. You are now ready for the flow of supernatural wealth, not the kind that fades, but the kind that builds legacy funds, assignment, fuels purpose, and transforms generations. You are not entering this alone. Angels are assigned to your increase. Favor is assigned to your movement. Provision is assigned to your journey, and heaven is assigned to your name. Chosen one. Pause and feel this truth. You have stepped into divine readiness. Everything you need for the next chapter is already within you. Everything you lost is being restored in higher form. Everything that once limited you is being replaced with authority. Everything that once intimidated you will soon bow to the calling on your life. This is not poetic encouragement. This is prophetic reality. You are rising, you are expanding, you are aligning, and heaven is releasing. Your life is about to testify of God's abundance in ways that will silence doubt, inspire faith, and ignite destiny in others. And this is only the beginning of what heaven will continue unfolding in you. Chosen one. As this message comes to a close, let your spirit remain open, because the anointing that met you in this moment is still working, still moving, still unlocking what heaven has appointed for your life. You did not hear this by coincidence. You were drawn here because this is your Kairos moment, the moment where heaven whispers, now. The supernatural transfer has already begun. The alignment has already shifted. The doors assigned to your name have already started opening in the unseen. Anointed one. May you walk from this moment with a renewed certainty that God has marked you, chosen you, and positioned you for divine increase. May your capacity rise. May your faith expand. May your spiritual account overflow with the oil of destiny. And may the hand of the Lord rest strongly upon your purpose, guiding your steps into places your feet have never walked, but your spirit has long recognized. Chosen one, I declare over you clarity for the journey ahead, courage for every assignment, provision for every need, and favor that speaks your name in rooms you have never entered. May the wealth that has been held in darkness shift into your hands. May the blessings written for you before time now manifest without delay. You are stepping into divine timing. You are stepping into supernatural flow. You are stepping into God's appointed abundance. As you go, remain faithful. Stay aligned. Keep your heart soft, your expectation high, and your spirit surrendered. And if this word has confirmed something deep within you, feel free to share it in the comments, subscribe, or pass this message forward so others can walk into their moment of divine appointment. Anointed one, go in grace, go in power, go in the fullness of heaven's favor. Your breakthrough is not coming, it has already begun.